So, hello and welcome to all of you. As you see, we are going to discuss about body fluid and circulation, and this is the 18th chapter in your book. And the topics the book cover is about blood, limbs. Limbs mean tissue fluids, and circulatory pathway, double circulation, regulations of cardiac activity, and disorders of circulation system. So, those things we're going to discuss in our chapter. Now, you have already learned that all living cells have to be provided with nutrients, oxygen and other essential substances. Also, the waste or harmful substances produced have to be removed continuously for healthy functions of tissues. It is therefore essential to have efficient mechanism, right? And for the movement of those substances to the cells and from the cells, different groups of animals have evolved different methods for this transport. Simple organisms like sponges circulate water from their surrounding and throughout their body cavity to facilitate the cells to exchange those substances. Okay, so more complex organs use special fluids within their bodies to transport such materials. So blood, this is the blood. Blood is the most commonly used body fluid by most of the higher organism, including humans, for his purpose. Another body fluids called limbs also help in the transport of certain substances. In this chapter, you will learn about the compositions of properties of blood and limbs or tissue fluids, and the mechanism of circulations of blood is also explained herein. So let's move on. Now let's talk about blood. As you see, blood is a special connective tissues. We can say it is a connective tissues, special connective tissues for fluid matrix, plasma and formed elements. So this is the connective tissue consisting of fluid matrix, plasma and formed elements. Now what is plasma, right? Now plasma is a straw-colored viscous fluid constituting nearly 55% of the blood. So 55% of the blood is plasma, and 90 to 92% of the plasma is water, and proteins contributed 6 to 8% for it. And fibrinogen, globulin, those are the names. Fibrinogen, globulin and albumins are the major proteins, right? So many times examiner ask questions from here also, like what are the major proteins in plasma or in bloods. So this is the name for fibrinogen, globulin and albumins are the major proteins. Now let's move on to the next. And fibrinogens are needed for clotting, very important. Fibrinogens are needed for clotting or coagulations of blood. Globulin primarily, so what is the need of fibrinogen? Clotting and coagulation of blood. And globulins primarily are involved in defense mechanism, right? Defense mechanism means to fight against harmful bacteria, germs, virus, many things. So of the body, and albumins. So globulin is fight against primarily involved in a defense mechanism, and albumins help in osmotic balance. Very important, those are the lines. So to maintain the osmotic balance, albumins help. Plasma also contains small amount of minerals like sodium, calcium, magnesium, ions, and glucose, amino acids, lipid, etc. are also present in the plasma, as they are always in transit in the body. Factors for coagulations or clotting of a blood are also present in plasma in an inactive form, right? So very important again. Factor for clotting of bloods is present in the plasma in an inactive form. Very important. Plasma without the clotting factor is called serum. Fine. Okay. Without clotting factor, it is serum, or with and plasma obviously have a clotting factors, but it in its inactive form. Now let's move on to formed elements. Formed element, right? Erythrocytes, leukocytes, erythrocyte, leukocytes, platelets are collectively called formed elements. So the major thing is erythrocytes and leukocytes, and platelets also is there, are collectively called as the formed elements, and they constitute nearly 45% of the bloods. So 45% of the bloods is formed element, right? 55% of the blood is plasma. So those are the very important. You have to remember them. Like what is in the blood? See, when you become a doctor, you have to have those knowledge, complete knowledge of human body. So whatever parts human body have, each and everything, it should be in your fingertips, right? Now let's talk about erythrocytes. Erythrocytes, or also we know it as a red blood cell or RBC. Red blood cells, RBCs. So are most amendment of all the cells in blood. A healthy adult man has an average of 5 million to 55 million of red blood cells per millimeter cube of a blood. RBCs formed in a red bone marrow, right? So in the adults, and RBCs are devoid of nucleus in the most of mammals and are bioconcave in shapes. So if you see this shapes, it is look like a bioconcave shape. So they have a red color, definitely, and iron contain complex protein called hemoglobin. Very important, hemoglobin, right? So hemoglobin is the complex protein with having a iron, because that is the reason it's red. So the color and name of those cells. A healthy individual has a 12 to 6 GMS of hemoglobin in every 100 milliliter of blood. Now those molecules play a significant role in the transport of respiratory gases. RBC has an average life of around 120 days, lifespan of 120 days, after which they are destroyed in the spleen or graveyard of RBCs. Now next is leukocytes. Now we talk first erythrocytes, and now we have leukocytes. So what is this? Now leukocytes are also known as white blood cells, as we know, WBC, white blood cells, as they are colorless, right? In the name it suggests white. So due to the lack of hemoglobin, because in when we talk about erythrocytes, it have hemoglobins and irons, and that is the name, and also the color. It's both are depend on these hemoglobins, and they are nucleated and are relatively lesser in number, which average of 6,000 to 8,000 millimeter cube of a blood. Leukocytes are generally short lived. They don't live for longer, as long as erythrocytes live. So we have two main categories of WBCs. Number one is granuleucocytes and agrinucleocytes. So neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are different type of granulocytes. Again, I'm repeating these things, okay? So the two categories of WBCs or white blood cells. Number one is granulocytes and agrinucleocytes. So neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are different type of granulocytes, while lymphocytes and monocytes are the agrinucleocytes. I hope it's now clear for you. Now neutrophils are the most amendment cells, 60 to 65% of the total WBCs. So neutrophils is come under granulocytes. So and basophils are around 0.5 to 1%. So neutrophils and monocytes 6 to 8% are phagocyte cells which destroy foreign organisms entering the body. Basophils secrete histamine. Okay, it secretes histamine and serotonin and heparin, right? So it helps and are involved in inflammatory reaction. So eosinophils, like 2 to 3%, resist infections and are also associated with allergies reactions. So lymphocyte 20 to 25% are two major types, B and T lymphocytes. Okay, So both B and T lymphocytes are responsible for immune systems and immunoresponse for the body. So nowadays, as you see, coronavirus, right? So those are the lymphocytes which are the responsible for your immunocytes. So if your immunity system is weak, it means that you have a lesser number of B or T lymphocytes. And if you have a more lymphocytes or they are very strong, so that means your immunity system is also very strong. Now, plates also called thrombocytes or thrombocytes, many things. So thrombocytes, I prefer, are called fragment producer from megakaryocytes, special cells in bone marrow. Blood normally contain 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 plates millimeter. Plates can release a varieties of substance, most of which are involved in coagulations or clotting of bloods, right? So a reductions in their number can be lead to clotting disorders, which will lead to excessive loss of blood from the body. For example, like a man who is just get hit by some of the vehicles and accidents take place. So at that time he is bleeding. But if he has such kind of problem, so clotting will be delayed, right? So he will lose more or excessive blood will be lost from his body because due to this reason, right? Because if blood clot is faster, then means you will lose less number of bloods. So now let's move on to the blood group, a very interesting chapter, very important topics also, and blood groups like A, B, C, D, whatever the blood groups, we will discuss and learn about them. So let's move on to the now blood group. As we heard many times, like when we learn in also in 6, 7, 8 standard, like there are 4 types of blood group. So we will learn here again, but in a more detail. So as of blood of a human beings differ in certain aspects. Throughout it appears to be similar. Various type of grouping of blood has been done to such a grouping. The A, B, O and RH are widely used all over the world, right? So we classify the blood into A, B, O and RH factor. So now let's talk about this ABO grouping. Fine. RH positive or negative and ABO, AB, O positive or negative. So many things is under there. So let's talk on that. So ABO grouping is based on the presence of or absence of 2 surface antigen. So it's based on 2 surface antigen. Chemicals that can induce immunoresponse on the RBCs, namely A and B. So 2 surface antigens which is either presence or absence in RBC, red blood cells. So when it's differ, so we say it's A or B. Similarly, the plasma of a different individual contain 2 natural antibodies. Proteins produced in a response to antigen. The distribution of an antigen and antibody in the 4 group of blood A, B, AB and O are given here, you can see. So you probably know that during blood transfusion, any blood cannot be used. Fine. So the blood of a donor has to be carefully matched with the blood of a recipient before any blood transfer to avoid severe problem of clumping or destruction of RBC. The donor's compatibility, let me show you. As you see here in this table, blood group and donor capability. So a group, first let me tell you, like let's check your blood group, like you are falling under one of these group, right? So what happened? From whom you can take, or from whom you can who can take from you and whom you can take the bloods. So first, a blood group like A blood group, the antigen on RBCs, it is same A antigen, and antibodies in plasma anti-B. So donor who can donate like O and A, those both group can donate you a blood, or you can donate, so both can donate if you need any kind of bloods. So now next, for B can take, or B's donor is like B itself and also O. In case of AB is a universal taker, we can say. Like AB can take from everyone, like A, group B, group AB, and also O. But in case of O, it's different. O can only donate, not only donate O, but he only can take from O blood group. And why the, even also this is also very important, like this thing, antigens on RBC, A group have a A antigen, B group have a B antigen, AB group have a A and B both. But in case of O don't have these antigens on RBCs. But antibodies in plasma, O group have a anti A and B, right? Plasma. In plasma they have these antibodies. So from the above mentioned table, it is evaluated the group O blood can be donated to person with any other blood group. So O is a universal donor, and AB, we can say AB is also a universal taker. Now O can donate to person with any other blood groups. Hence O group individuals are called universal donor. Person with AB group can accept blood from response with AB as well as throughout groups of blood. So therefore such a position we call universal recipient. Fine. So this is all about in this topics, and we have left many things to discuss. So for now let's end this video, and we will talk on the next part of this video where we will discuss the other topics which is left behind. So if we repeat like what we learned in this topic, so first is definitely the index we talk, and then like what is the need of our body fluids and what are the type of body fluids, right? And in case in human, like blood and lymphs are the major things, and why, and their classification we also discuss, and also blood group at the end. So this is all about in this part, and we will talk in the next part. So see you there and keep watching. And if you are a first time, so definitely what you have to do, first you have to subscribe, and then you have to hit the bell icon to get the notification of our videos. And if you have any kind of suggestion like how we can improve our work, and how we can help you in many way, like giving you question answers or make video like these things, so obviously give your suggestions and feel free to criticize and comment on the comment section. So keep watching, and thanks for watching.